For your project to be successful, you need to do background reading.
It is essential to read, basically to understand what people have done, what things you can do, what things you shouldn't do, and which pathways you should and you shouldn't follow.
When you're doing reading, it could be anything. It could be just a site you find on Google, or it doesn't have to be reading. You could watch a video on YouTube.
The students quite often go straight to Wikipedia.
Wikipedia is very, very good in some places and very, very awful in others.
I'd say Google Scholar is your friend.
And Google Scholar has all of the research papers.
When you're doing science in the classroom, all your knowledge comes from textbooks. When you're doing science in research, your knowledge comes from papers.
Scientific papers for me are a little bit hard because I'm dyslexic. So what I kind of do is kind of just break it down, and then any words that I don't understand, maybe I'll do research around that word.
Maybe at first it could be a bit daunting to look at a proper research paper, but just reading the introduction, just reading the abstract can give you a really great idea of what has already been done and what the results are.
Making sure that your sources come from credited places is so important.
Sources are the most important thing, and that's true of everything. You know, is there a source for it? Is that trustworthy? What are the sort of motivations for that source to say X, Y, or Z? You know, and that's what you should be doing in everything in your life, whether it's science or not.
We have this thing called peer review in science, where you have other experts in the field review your work before it goes to being published in a hopefully distinguished journal.
And they will look over your work and make sure that you've done it correctly and make sure that it makes sense, and also they might be able to find some holes and gaps that you might have missed.
I would always look for that as a sort of first starting point. The second starting point I would look for is what's called citations. So you'll see in the text, you see this in places like Wikipedia, there'll be sort of little numbers, and those little numbers basically say, this fact that I've just written, here is where I pulled that from.
That's how you can find papers that way as well. It's like literally just by finding one key paper and then seeing what it's cited by. That's also a function on Google Scholar.
And you should be able to follow that trail through to lots of original research eventually.